Welcome to Aiken Business Matters. We are in historic downtown Aiken at 139 Lawrence Street, and we're about to go in to the Carriage House Inn. So I think Elizabeth's at the door, so let's come on in.
Hey John, welcome to the Carriage House.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Come on
Good
in.
to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate your giving us the invitation to come.
Thank you. I'm excited to show you around.
Yeah, let's sit down a minute and determine where we want to go and what we want to show people.
Sounds great.
We're very fortunate today to be sitting in the lobby. It feels like somebody's living room of the Carriage House Inn at 139 Lawrence Street. And we are here with the general manager and daughter of the owner. We're here with Elizabeth Smith, and she is the daughter of the owner, Ann Thomason, and we are so happy to be here with you today.
Thanks, John. We're so excited you're here. Mom is out and about getting some of the rooms to completion in our new addition that we'll give you a tour of later. So thanks for coming. I can't wait to share the property with you.
Well, we're going to be able to show our folks, I hope, what you have done to the existing rooms and the new rooms. So is there a possibility we could have a tour?
Absolutely, John. Let's head upstairs here in our main inn and see some of our historic rooms before we head out to the new addition.
Great. Elizabeth, tell us where we are in the hotel.
Sure, John.
In the inn.
So we're in the main inn here at the Carriage House Inn. We are in the historic portion, which we have 6 rooms here in the upstairs where we are. This building was built in 1872. We have 6 rooms that vary from our deluxe queen guest rooms all the way to our double jacuzzi premium room, which we're in. Has a king bed and a double jacuzzi, wraparound porches that overlook our courtyard and some of the downtown area. The interesting part about our historic inn is that these 6 rooms were our original 6 rooms that we began with in 1999. So my mother, Ann Thomason, the owner here at the Carriage House, has thoughtfully decorated every room and beautifully done it in a way that she has picked every piece of furniture, if it was from her collection over time as an antique dealer, or if it was a new piece that she has bought that it looks beautiful to make our guests comfortable in every way.
Right. Now I know in the real early days that you lived here.
That's true. So I lived here as the innkeeper my freshman year in college.
Ah.
Yeah, so that was downstairs, and I got to get up and cook breakfast for all of our wonderful guests.
How was that?
It was exciting. It was wonderful to meet our guests every day and to find out why they have come to visit us in our wonderful little town, and to see what they thought was so great about it, and for them to share their experience, because as I've told you, we're in the Aiken business, so it was great to learn why they were here.
Yeah. Now they come up and you show them this room or a room like this, because you have a number of other rooms and they're all unique to themselves, and they're furnished totally differently, aren't they?
Yeah, so we have 37 rooms total here at the Carriage
Right.
House, 6 here in the main inn, and each one is completely different. And you know, that's truly a belief of my mom's, that each room kind of reflects a traveler, that every guest is unique and different in their own right. So she's really tried to give them that experience, but also at the same time provide all the modern conveniences and things that need to keep them comfortable and happy, from complimentary wireless internet access to flat screen TVs in the rooms to complimentary full breakfast served in the main inn downstairs.
Yeah.
So
this is just a wonderful place, and it has such a great history behind it. And the thing that really brought it out even more to me was that I was on a trip recently in Georgia, Dublin, Georgia, and stayed at a place that reminded me so much of this, and it was called the Page House Inn. Mm-hmm. And I told so many people that I said it just reinforced to me how nice it is to stay in a place like the Carriage House Inn. There's so many unique features to it. Show us a little bit about the room, how it's set up.
Sure. So this one's really special in the sense that it is obviously beautifully decorated, and Anne always tries to work where it's very calm and comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's this simple elegance, beautiful king bed and furnishings that she's collected over time that she loves and feels like guests will really love. It also has a beautiful access out onto the porch that has a beautiful live oak tree covering the side of it. And then we have a big double jacuzzi in the bathroom with beautiful furnishings and also perfect to relax and get away.
Yeah. So you have a desk over here too.
Yeah.
And I bet there's a Wi-Fi.
There is. The entire property has Wi-Fi. So anywhere you're on our property, you will be able to pick up the Wi-Fi.
And for all our male viewers, they'll rest assured they have flat screen TVs with plenty of channels to surf. So that's plenty of that.
Absolutely.
There.
We even, Mom Ann made it a top priority not only to do as every hotel would do, which is kind of limited channels.
Yeah.
They have full access. So guests, if that's what they're here for, is to relax and watch TV, they can do that. And if they need to sit at the desk and work and reach the Wi-Fi, they can do that, or sit outside in some of the outdoor areas and enjoy the beautiful weather we have. They have that opportunity.
And for our viewers, there's not a room that you can go in that you don't feel like you're in a wonderful downtown area. It gives you that feeling of family and community when you look out and observe the community around you. So.
Well, thank you, John. That's Ann's intention. That's Mom's intention with all of it, is we want to open the doors with open arms and Southern hospitality to our guests and say, welcome home, and we want you to be part of our family while you're here in Aiken.
And I remember so vaguely, or not vaguely, but so clearly, that your mom made a comment one time when I was around her to some other folks that she said, we want people to feel like this is our house and we've invited them in.
Yeah, and I think that's that true Southern hospitality. As you walk through the front door, you're greeted with open arms and fresh flowers and a smile, and they bring you in and take you to your room, and you just enjoy all your time, and you look back and you say, I can't wait to return.
No way. Can we see the other part of it?
Absolutely. So there's our renovated space also has beautiful double jacuzzi tubs, and this is something that over the years has been greatly appreciated, from a romantic evening to a relaxing night that you need to unwind. So again, Mom has really goes above and beyond to think about every aspect in every room that she decorates and plans.
And there's a lot of thought has gone into the design here, from the double jacuzzi tub to the beautiful laboratory. It looks like a piece of, if you didn't know any better, you'd think it was a piece of antique furniture.
So it actually was, and my mother cut a hole in the top of it and put a sink in it.
How about that?
Yeah, so it was one of her collections, and and there's also the uniqueness of this main inn, that this was a family home, and so to be able to get the space to turn it into an inn is unique in its own right. That every space you have these great kind of big spacious rooms and bathrooms, and it's really been a labor of love for my mom over the past 30 years.
Well, and listening to you talk about it, either here on property or away from it, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because you certainly have that same kind of enthusiasm and love for this property as your mom does.
Thank you. We do. We've, like you said, I lived here as an innkeeper, and when I was young, we lived here while she was renovating old homes, and so there's been, not only has it been our house and our business, so as you can tell, it has been our home in many ways and continues to be.
Well, this room is absolutely wonderful. Now, the ceilings in here are, is this what you call the Hitchcock ceiling?
It is, and they're the original ceilings. So again, the maintenance in this historic part has been a labor of love, absolutely, for my mother. And sometimes it takes, obviously, a lot of labor.
Yes. Well, this is absolutely wonderful, and the decorations and from the covers on the bed to the floor coverings, just you can tell that they were very, very specifically picked out to blend together. They all blend so well. So now you're telling me your mother's not only a decorator, can do renovations, but she's a decorator on top of it.
She is. Every bit of this is her thought and planning, and it definitely, as you said, it's not only can you tell it was planned, but it definitely comes from her heart.
Right.
And I think that's something that is extra special, is for when people come in, not only do they know they're in a special place, but they can feel the love that was put into it.
Right. The thing that, there was no way we can make it come across to the viewers, but this whole inn has a wonderful flow to it. When you go through it, you can tell that everything that was done was well thought out with the guest in mind.
It was, and that, again, Mom it is just part of who she is. She's definitely a creative visionary who can see things and look at old houses and see the beautiful house it was once and what it will be again, and she can put that flow and that love back in it all together.
Right. Those of us who grew up in Aiken, we grew up knowing this as the Ephraim house, and it was part of the Ephraim family's business. That actually they were in the taxi and the limo service, I believe, right?
Absolutely, it was. The Ephraim family lived in the home, and then they had a large warehouse for the taxis and limousines out on the property. So there has been many families and lots of love that have lived here and grown through the years.
Yeah. What's the chance we could see some of the newer additions to Carriage House Inn?
Yeah, that's where all the excitement is too right now, is the Pendleton guest house. So our 24 new rooms, over 20,000 square feet. So let's go look at them.
All right, that sounds like a winner.
Sounds great.
Now, Elizabeth, tell us about this part of the inn.
Sure. So now we're in the Pendleton guest house, which is our new addition that everybody, if you're in town, have seen it go up over the past 2 years. This was just recently opened in March. We started having our guests stay with us then. There are 24 rooms here in the Pendleton guest house. 6 of those are suites like the room we're in. 18 of them are rooms that vary from a queen bed to a king to 2 double beds in the room with jacuzzi shower tubs, which you asked about earlier,
Yes.
John. Our karaoke showers that we have a huge waiting list. So I know you're like number 25 on it, I think.
26.
26. So we'll get there eventually. But we have those, and then they're all different, just like the main inn. Mom, obviously, in the decor, it all varies. Again, it was each piece was picked out with love. Not quite like the main inn in the sense that there are not the historic pieces from her collection out here,
Right.
as she couldn't have found enough furniture to do that.
Now, just to put this in perspective for people that are here in Aiken, and I'm sure some folks that will watch this that are not from Aiken,
Sure.
that the front of the inn is on Lawrence Street, and this borders on Pendleton Street. So you connect both streets, which gives you a what, 20% of this block?
Absolutely. So when we did this new addition, it was behind the warehouse that
Right.
we tore down. And it overlooks Pendleton and then the courtyard behind the carriage house. We actually connected the two, Lawrence and Pendleton, with a drive for our guests' convenience to be able to park back on Pendleton as they come back into this 20,000 square foot addition.
So if your guests are coming into town, if they miss it and go around the block, you can catch them on the backside then.
That's right. They can see it from behind, and it's gorgeous.
It
so.
is. It really is. It's been a wonderful addition to Pendleton Street. It really makes the street pop. It really does. And we are also on what floor?
So we're up on the 3rd floor of our new addition. There are 3 floors with 9 rooms and 2 suites per floor, totaling the 24 new additional rooms. When Mom helped design this with Mike Holland, who was the architect on the project, she really, really thought about how she wanted this building to look and how she obviously wanted it to feel. So from the exterior, people are very surprised that it is new, even though they know it's new.
Yes, it does look that way. And even though I was surprised when you said, do you want to take the stairs or the elevator, that you had an elevator, but I guess I should have realized that. But it is a very spacious elevator that is unlike a lot of places that you go. It's kind of a cramped elevator, but this one is very spacious to allow your guests to be able to put their luggage in and so forth, to get up without feeling cramped and claustrophobic, I guess. So now we're in this room, and of course you have wonderful decor in here. Your mom's been at work again on her decorative side, and she's done a beautiful job. And the furniture, and I think you said earlier that the furniture is unique in each room, and boy, she has put an awful lot of time into the thing, from the paintings that she's put on the walls to the lights to the I mean, it's just incredible to me. It's just a beautiful combination, and certainly and I will say this again, I think I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but you really have it's very comforting and a very calming influence when you come in, and that comes from a good friend of mine that told me a long time ago, said colors that you pick for rooms do one or two things. It makes you anxious or makes you calm, and she has done a good job in picking out colors. So
She did. Her intention in all of it, just like in the main end, was, when you travel, you want that kind of simple, comfortable elegance.
Right.
And so it is. She found that perfect balance between comfort and calmness and elegance, so that if you've had a stressful day at work or if you're just here to relax, you can find that peace in not only your surroundings here in the Carriage House Inn, but also when you go out in the streets and meet the wonderful people that we share our town with. So she did, every room is unique in its color, and it's the draperies that she picked to each individual piece of furniture, the lamps, the artwork. She really has thought about it, and it has translated very well, as thanks to your attention to noticing it and the feedback from our guests that we've had staying with us since March.
Well, I can see that, and of course these rooms over here, like the rooms in the main inn, have Wi-Fi and all the modern conveniences, and certainly you have flat screen televisions that are excellent, I might add, and just everything that you'd possibly want. And this is just a beautiful room, and I will say the chairs are very comfortable.
Yeah.
On a previous visit, I got to sample two
Yeah.
of them anyway, but everything about this room just says comfort.
Yeah, and that, that's back to kind of some of that Southern hospitality is,
Yeah.
When you travel with us as our guest here at the Carriage House, as our kind of home away from home and in our homes, we want you to be comfortable. And then there is that peace that you find in it, and that's really important. And as you said, all the modern amenities, obviously, to meet the needs of all of our guests. And we really continue to take feedback from our guests. That's really important to us, so that we make sure that everybody is receiving what they expect when they come to the Carriage House. And we really strive to go above and beyond to make them happy and to work with them.
As nice as this room, part of the room is, let's take a look at the rest of it.
Sure, since we're in one of our suites, we have, of course, our bedroom space, and then if you come here into the sitting area, this is a really unique additional space here with some comfortable space for our guests to sit and relax and enjoy, obviously, the television or read a book. There's a lot of feedback in travel that sometimes you want separate spaces, or you don't want to be sitting in the bedroom if you're a long-term traveler. So this has really been unique for that. And then in 3 of these suites, this space is also a kitchen. So we have a couple units to really work with individuals that are traveling with needs of refrigerators and stoves for whatever reason that may be. Again, Mom thought about everything. It was really to make this property as unique as our community is to be able to take the old and the new and to bring it together in a way that is comfortable, and it invites our guests to come in with all the modern amenities and really reflects what Aiken reflects from all aspects.
I've got to tell you this, listen to you and Ann talk about what you put into this. It's almost, you feel like you're matching up personalities with rooms, because everybody's got a little different need, a little different personality, so you decide based on what their needs are. And like you said, you got everything from the business traveler that doesn't want to feel claustrophobic while they're in town. They want a lot of space just to relax in, to the bride and groom who are just want to sit, comfort, and feel good about and be pampered a little bit. And you certainly provide all those different amenities to your guest. And what do you see as the future of the innkeeper? Is this what you see it coming to? It's becoming more and more personalized?
I think so, John. Over the 17 years that we've had the Carriage House Inn, the need of a traveler has really changed. And I think that it's about having a really unique experience in their travel. Even as a business traveler who is really there to get business done, they want to have something that's warm and comfortable and relaxing, but they also want to feel the place and the space that they're in. And so when Mom decorated this and designed it, it was so you could feel the heart of Aiken here in the Carriage House, and to be kind of part of our extended family. I think guests and travelers love to come in and we say welcome home. And so the property has reflected that. And then, like you said, to have spaces outside of their room that they can relax. And like this room overlooks our courtyard, and we have a unique space here on top of our new addition that is a rooftop space.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in the needs of travelers, that was something we kind of was looking forward to in the future, was this space. Mom always said, there are all these big buildings and the roofs are being wasted. So from her creative visionary, she saw this open space on top of this building, which is here now, still some construction left to be done on it, so we're not open yet to the public in any capacity. But we're planning for it to be available for our guests to go up and relax and to read a book or take a bottle of wine and sit up there and
Right.
enjoy the stars above. And then down the road, it'll be open for event space. So if it's a wedding, if it's a party of some type, we really want to open the doors not only to our guests, but to our community to enjoy the Carriage House Inn.
And the rooftop view up there, I had the opportunity to look at it the day that we went up. It was a very bright day, and you could really see an awful lot. You could see all the church steeples around town and the high points of Aiken, but you really got to see how much green space Aiken has.
It does. It's back to her vision that this would not only reflect what she wanted it to for our guests and for our family,
Right.
but to reflect Aiken as a whole. And when you go up there, you get to oversee not only the Carriage House Inn and all the work that she's done over the years in acquiring various properties to turn it into what it is today, but also to see Aiken from kind of that skyline view that's really unique for our community, and to go, wow, I'm in a really special place. And you know, we all know that live here and love Aiken, but for our guests and our visitors to feel that is really important to us, because we want them to love Aiken in the way we all do.
And I want to share something with you that was kind of a personal story. One day when I was in here and you and I were meeting on something totally different, it was about something people need to know that you and your mom are very involved with the different aspects of this community and want to be involved in it. But I was waiting on you. You were waiting on, or had to take a phone call from a guest, or working, doing the things that you do. Sure. And one of your guests just happened to be in the lobby, and we were just talking. And he was telling me where he was from, and he had a son and daughter that were moving to Aiken. And that was why they were here. And I said, well, I gave my business card, and I said, well, I'm with the city. If I can do anything at all with your son and your daughter-in-law, let me know. And about 2 weeks ago, his son showed up in my office just to drop by and talk for a while. They said his parents just thoroughly enjoyed their stay here and just loved Aiken and felt so good that they were making a good decision to move to Aiken. So that was just a little personal story, but it's kind of the thing that I wanted our viewers to see, that you make a lasting impression. It not only affects your business, but it affects people's perception of our wonderful city.
It does, John. Thank you. Over the 17 years, we've heard so many stories like that. And like you said, Mom and I are involved in the community and want to be for so many reasons, obviously, because we love Aiken and what we all do in this town and want it to be the most amazing place, not only for us, but for our guests and for our children and the generations that follow. And so stories like that, that's why we do it. I mean, those parents now are at peace that their children are moving to this wonderful town. Yeah. And it takes the love that we all give. Some of the most lasting statements for me from our guests is, I said, so tell me about Aiken. How's your experience been? And they're like, you know, the most amazing thing is when we walk out of this front door and go up and down the streets, people smile and ask us how we are and how was our day. And it didn't happen once and it didn't happen twice. It happened almost every time we pass somebody. Southern hospitality is real and it lives here in the streets of your community, and you should be proud of that. So I tell everybody too, it's not only the impressions we make, but as we send them out into the streets, it's the impression that we as Aikenites make on them, and it goes really far and it continues year after year to be the feedback. So it's amazing that we as a community come together and do it in a way that we don't even know we're doing it.
Right, and that makes us proud of the city we live in, because everybody that we come in contact with says the same thing you do, that people love the warm, embracing attitude that the citizens of this community exude every day, and they're just being the people that they are in Aiken.
Yeah.
It's just an Aiken thing.
It is, and it's a testament to our community and all the work we have done and diligently do moving forward to continue to strive to be the best we are. And people ask too, if do you have a restaurant here? When we were talking about the roof a minute ago, is there going to be a restaurant or a bar? Say no. We're in the hospitality business. Right. We're in the Aiken business, and that is what we do every day: is diligently share our community in the best ways possible. So we want to send them out into those streets and send them to the restaurants and the pubs and the outdoor events that we have going on, so they can meet you or anybody here in our community and find out what is extra special about Aiken, and that's the people that live here.
You're right, and I've got to say this one, and I won't embarrass them by saying it, but one of our newer businesses on Main Street, which we call Lawrence Street, was telling me that one thing that when they first started their business, and they've been in business in Aiken for several years, but they came from quite a distance away to start their business. They said one thing that they were surprised was the warm, embracing attitude of all the businesses in Aiken to try to help them, assist them, and give them advice and give them names of people that could help them with different business needs that they had as they started their business. And they came by and checked on them, said, you wouldn't find that every place. But that just echoes exactly what you just said.
It does, John. In my previous career, I was the executive director of the First Tee of Aiken,
Yes.
our local nonprofit. And I used to say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to do everything. And that is something else that my mother and I have prioritized is through the Carriage House Inn is not only to be a great proprietor in our business, but to be a great citizen as who we are as people, but also as the Carriage House Inn.
Yeah.
And to reach out to our local businesses and to partner in ways that benefit everybody, because in the long run, that benefits our community as a whole. So that new business those years ago, you know, our goal is to invite them in and to find out how can we work together, because we as a community care about you and what we do. And so I think it takes a village to do everything, and Aiken's a great village.
Yeah, and speaking of Aiken, why don't we take a look at the view that we get of the rest of your properties out here?
Absolutely.
Can you show that to us?
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for the tour and the history lesson, and just giving people a sense of how this all came together. And I hope people go away from it with a realization of it's just not a place to come and spend the night, but you and your mother have really put a lot of time and effort. It is very well thought out and very well done, and your mother is a true artisan. And not only in the renovation side, but also on the decorative side. She has put a lot of herself, and you have done so as well, into this inn. And I, for one, appreciate what you've done, because it really is a prize for downtown Aiken and for Aiken. And if people would like to see and hear a little bit more about the Carriage House Inn, there's a wonderful article in the summer edition of Bella Magazine. And it's written by our good friend, Mr. Hale. And he always does such a good job. He and Kathy, the editor of Bella, are just such good liaisons and ambassadors for the city of Aiken, as you and your mom are. I want our people to understand one thing, that a city is only as good as the people that live in it. And you and your mother are wonderful ambassadors for our city with our guests, with our tourists, and the people that just come in off the street asking for help and advice and directions. I know you get those in every day.
We do. We do.
But we are just so delighted to have you finally get this open. Tell our guests one more time how long you and your mother spent to get the new section done.
Sure. So my mom's owned the property for 30 years, 17 of that being the Carriage House Inn, and we rolled out the new Pendleton guest house in March of this year. So very recent, just a few months, but it took her 2 years to construct the project.
Right.
So it's been an honor and a blessing to be by her side as her daughter and now as her general manager, to share her amazing vision and creativity with our community.
Yes. And I think I'll speak for them and just say, from their family to your family, you're always welcome in their home here at Carriage House Inn. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.